I'm back. I was right. Yeah, it just dumped me out to the main screen. That's a concern. Do you guys all automatically come back in if you're in my lobby? I don't know. It knows I normally only go for an hour, so it just booted me out.
How can something as beautiful as this
26 watching.
A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands.
Slap.
End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of... Welcome to Biomutant.
Thank God there's a continue. Fuck, I thought it was going to screw me. I like Rise Against. Hero of War, I think, is one of the greatest songs of the last sort of decade. Jeez, it might be older than that now. Let's try that again. Please don't crash on me.
Says the Sifu gets to choose who sees the Sifu. But here...
Would you give it a try? Alright, let's give it a whirl then. My views are disappearing, so I wonder if I just lost everybody when that crashed.
The tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace.
Hairline Fracture, maybe my favourite.
The Sifu
from which album?
That defeating the world eaters and saving the tree of life is the only
Punishing
way
Need for Speed
to
Underground.
make the world a better place.
2. Give it all. I mainly listened to... It wasn't their first one, probably their second or third album.
But he was hoping you'd show up.
So like Science Fiction Counterculture and whatever the next one was.
Has preceded you.
So Guitar Hero. A vigilante? Question mark.
He heard you
very
took
concerned
out
about
a date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common.
Playing, I didn't play much Guitar Hero, but playing Rock Band certainly improved my drumming skills, I'd say that.
Still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
I find them now. They're great. Tell you what, one of the bands that you can put on and just listen to the album start to finish. You know, all the songs are good. What have I got on my workout one? Midnight Hands is a great song. When that comes on you on the treadmill, you're like, right, let's crank the speed up on this fucker.
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the world eaters to save the Tree of Life.
Unite the tribes? Did I want to defeat the tribes?
He didn't expect that of you. You're the essence of a being born good. It seems that the darkness that's fallen on this land has also gone to your head. He thinks you should reconsider and follow your heart instead of your mind. Otherwise, he'll have no choice but to treat you as a rival.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. Whisper! How you doing, dude? I've changed my mind already. This is the game's end goal to save the Tree of Life, choosing destiny for defeated rivals. Awesome Jew. I don't fucking know. For sure.
Relieved
Give me
you
the
came to
hydrate,
your
thank you, sir.
senses and chose what's right. You would have made an enemy here today if you'd left. You're a myriad ally now. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe.
Alright. Coerce. Coercion doesn't sound that sort of gallant, does
He
it?
wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
Cool. Well, let's fucking do that.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
That will probably happen.
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with
Every time he
yours,
says
so that
seafood, I
you
hear
can
seafood
share
in my
land
head. I'm
again.
like, ooh, seafood. I love seafood.
Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have the will to
the
do good
memories
if
you
I'm
make
on the
with
way
your
to doing
family are
something and
strong
it's there.
can
I'm not going to go out of my
sometimes
way
come
to do
life.
good.
Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help.
Cool.
You have things to do, places to go.
Alright, yeah, fuck
Set.
off then. And... Ooh. Is there anything on your porch, dude? No, of course not. It'd be too fucking easy, wouldn't it? Like a training ground here. Ooh, no. No. What's all the collectibles and shit, huh? Nothing. Goddamn Biomutant. Oh yeah. Man, I gotta look into this one. Collectible shit. I love it. Stick. Common. Lousy. Composite. Cool. Small health pack. Also good. Probably. Ba, ba, ba. Quick cap. I probably should have a look through my inventory at some point and see what I have, because I'm just picking everything up and I'm still running with exactly what I started with. Wanna fight? Huh? Wanna fight? Wanna fight? Wanna go? See, like one of those British guards. What if I rub up against him? Oh, yeah. Hey, grab my tail. Pull my tail. Pull my tail. I'm looking over my shoulder all fucking sexy like too. He's not gonna do it, dickhead. Fucking jump every time I get something. I have that hangover from, you know when you swap between games and you have to retrain your brain for the buttons? The last game I went to, I kept using all my health items because triangle in the previous two games has been inventory, and in that game it was quick use health. So I'd just be wandering along and I'd burn through my health.
Reflects that you're a decent friend in a dim spot helping the myriad. Understands you have...
Fuck off. Jesus, what a waste of fucking time that was. Yep. Groovy. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Can I wear them? No. Okay, fine. Lucky then. And give me sunglasses, although I only have one eye. Probably not that useful. One-handed slash?
Finding things both here and there.
Yeah, okay, thanks, narrator. Are you a shop?
Says you'll get a special price and a wrap-up on the double. Says then, maybe get rid of some extra things?
Oh, I don't know what's fucking handy yet. Each vendor is specialised in a particular type of item, melee, weapon parts, range weapon parts, gear parts, clothes, fucking blah blah blah. Mounts. So I can go around where to find better parts for your gear. For a specific part to craft work, you can always check the nearest vendor. Or maybe I will. Besides the vendors provided you have enough green. Can't see the form of a leaf. How much do I have? It's probably up behind my fucking stupid head, is it? Sure. I can buy back the shit I just sold them. Holy fuck. Yeah, it is up there, okay.
Done and done.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know what's good or what I have, so I don't want to spend any money. I do want to rob people in this village that I'm apparently friends of. Yay, it's a thing. I don't know how the fuck that stuff works yet. 23, here we go. Picking up some viewers. Where's that thing trying to take me? Out, I guess. That way, okay. Energy duration. I like it. Energy. Tickling toffee. Oh. Health patch. Dainty. Sweet meat. Gross. Alright, I'm out. Pass through the cave. Righty. I feel like that's sort of the way I was going to go. God, I gotta get a horse or something. Although animals riding animals is a bit fucking weird. If I take 4 damage in this game, let's go find out. Apparently not. Surely that would have hurt me. Okay. I like it. Whoa. Hey, fucker. Take all. Konikaiu. What have we got? I guess we'll go that way. Well, fuck me, look at that.
A mump up ahead.
It's a wonky mump.
By evolution, the wonky ones especially. It formed unfurled.
Whoa. I feel like I'm getting my tits kicked in here.
Feeling better.
Hey, it's just Luxus. I'm assuming it's how you say it. Morning, how you doing? It's evening for me, but it's morning for you. Slow-mo. Fuck, he keeps breaking my lock. Yeah, I'm all fucked up. It's not great, is it? Let's have a think about that. Damn it. Whoa. Oh, you need that fucking thing. Jesus. Alright. Wonky mub. Oh. Armor. Energy regen. Yeah, I should start wearing stuff, shouldn't I guess. Right, let's have a look at my inventory then. This actually change equipment. No shit. The circle icon is part of the body that can be geared up with equipment found or bought from vendors who favors. It can be saved in the outfits. Okay, cool. Gear. Sort of gear into different stats. And scrap the high piece of gear for crafting resources by pressing triangle. Fantastic. Critical chance 1% more health. I mean, based on value, surely.
A stylish cover for your brains.
Yeah, scrap it. Nothing in face. Oh, that's got to be good, doesn't it? Hinged pad. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, armor goes down, energy regen goes up, health goes up.
Sharp
Yeah, whatever. It's worth heaps. Show me your legs. Ugh. It's got a fuzzy fucking non-committal section down there.
A thing to draw blood.
Okay. The shoulder, nothing. Alright, so I need face and shoulder. Get my shit going. Inventory. Oh yeah. Oops. What the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. Am I using those? I don't know if I'm What the fuck am I doing? Outfits, I don't care. Health injector, that'd be cool. A Kidling, that's a world techniques and program communication device. Cool. I don't know what the fuck half this stuff does. Alright, whatever. I put a new jacket on. That's all I really wanted. Call that a win. Screwdriver. I mean, I suppose I can fucking cash all that shit in. I guess. What is that? Oh, it's my back. Apparently. Melee parts. Yeah, great. I mean, okay. Add on. Well, how the fuck do I add it on?
You always find good use for things like that.
Scrap hammer. Straight back. Okay. The stream crashed or did my phone fuck up? No, my stream crashed, man. This game just dumped my ass out. Like a son of a bitch. But thanks for coming back. Oh, I have upgrade points to spend. I should do that. Bile. Spew toxic slush in the direction you're facing, inflicting damage to all enemies you hit. Sounds great.
It only gets weirder from here.
Of course. I said something and you replied to it, and I immediately forgot what I said. But I bet it was awesome, probably hilarious. Going for upgrade points. Yeah, okay. Most range attacks from enemies have a 10% chance to miss complete. I like to sell that. Oh. Wang Fu was what I should have done. Yeah. Well, then the answer, of course, is of course. Of course. So tell me something. I have a question for you, Sparkle. It's a very important one. What is the movie that you, whenever it is on, you will just watch it? It's like you've just seen a million times and you will see it a million more times. What is that movie? If you're flicking through the channels and you came across it, you'll be like, alright, well I guess this is me for the next hour and a half.
But it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer.
Tingling sensation? That's a stroke.
Let's see.
Oh, I got a follow from Eustace Luxus. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. T2. It is a classic. So far ahead of its time.
As time passes, memories fade.
The funny thing is about movies they used to set
it's not about who you
back
were,
then, and they were like, oh, this was going to happen in the future, and they'd date it. They'd be like, you know, 1999, and you go, oh, okay. So, like, I lived through Judgment Day. I was alive when it came around. Like, I like watching sci-fi shit from, like, the 80s. Where they go, in the year 2003, we'll all be in flying cars. Like, dude, we don't even have smartphones yet. They had so much hope for humanity. I can't swim for shit. I'd sure like to, yeah.
Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you a helping hand.
Good.
He thinks you should really know how to swim by now.
And Alien. Alien, the first one. How did you feel about the series after the first one? Don't know how I feel about it. Big move. Yeah. Sigourney Weaver being awesome. Perfect sci-fi horror. Yeah, I think Aliens was also pretty awesome as far as sequels go. Sci-fi action. Whoa, he just threw me in. Average. Which one is... I actually have them all. I have the box set. I think I've watched the first couple a number of times. And 3 and 4... maybe not much. One of the worst movies ever. Is that the one set on like a... doing like a fucking bunch of monks in like a convent on a desert planet or some shit? The fourth one? I need to keep at it, yeah.
Wait, but you need practice. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something.
I forgot her, I think.
You'd train with her before
3 is the present color, before 1.
It's time to go.
Make the replica. Ah, right, okay. Thing goes down. Okay, let's go do that, I guess. Go train with my mum. I don't think that's really my mum. I think Mooma is like my sensei.
Is in your blood. You should. She'll see you at the village square.
I love training with you.
She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow.
Right.
Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind.
That's one of the things about Prometheus Covenant.
He was hoping you could
That was
help
fine,
him
I
pick up
guess.
some scrap for a thingamajig.
Yeah, I went and saw Prometheus at the cinema, but you know, I wasn't such a massive built-in Aliens fan that I think a lot of it was lost on me. I mean, I followed the movie just fine, but I think there's sort of people get more excited about it if they are fully invested in the whole story. I could help them pick up some scrap. What about all the Alien Predator shit? You don't even recognize that they exist?
He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some.
Alright, Gizmo. Go pick up your junk. Oh yeah, I gotta dig. Gimme. Search the rubbish pile. What, these 3 things that are glowing like a fucking beacon? It's like the bat signal. Trash, only because there's no way in hell to complete 3 CNAs.
He wonders what usefulness you found.
You're one of those guys. You're like, you know what? If a lion fought a fucking crocodile, because of that. I think I watched maybe the first one, maybe the first crossover, and was just like, nah, I'm done. I mean, I think Predator, the original Predator, is one of the greater action movies of all time.
He says every little thing counts. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
It's fucking great, yeah. And Predator 2 was just...
But that's his point.
I mean, you know, the people that were making that, they're like, alright, we can't get Arnie. Who is a suitable replacement for... Oh, fucking Danny Glover? Who the fuck was it? I think it was Danny Glover. Like, just, man, what a massive fall from grace. Come on, if I existing weapons and armor, if you're feeling creative, create entirely new weapons from scratch. Alright, I'll do that. With the right pieces, you can craft your own weapons. No shit, that's how crafting works. Base, handle. Oh my god, do I have to do it now? I mean, bat sounds fun. Protean predators. Yeah. What does that tell you? I made a thing. Check it. It's impressive. The quality is rick-rack. Nice. What's it made about? That's not an action guy. Yeah, you see that sometimes, eh? You're like, it's just not for me. Although, I remember when everyone was telling me to go see The Bourne Identity, they're like, and I'm like, Damon? Really? Is it action star? But, I mean, you know, it's The Bourne Identity. It is pretty fucking amazing. And he sells it. So, you know.
You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark.
Never. Oh, mate. Mate, you need to. Go watch The Bourne Identity and then take it as far as you want from that point. But it's a great movie. I mean, I assume it's still great. It might be showing its age a bit by now, but...
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on Nick.
Okay, cool.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets, especially the ones who share together.
I would say... I would say there's probably a couple. The movie that I will watch a million times is Moneyball, because I just love baseball. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great story. I think it's a great movie. And I think it's well done. I would have seen the original Die Hard fucking so many times. Great fucking movie. Yeah, it is. Jonah Hill is surprisingly great in it. Brad Pitt is surprisingly good in it for a role that, you know, he's sort of probably one of his least recognised roles. And a weird choice for him, considering how famous he was at the time to make that movie. But I tell you, every Christmas Eve, and we'll be doing it very soon. Watch the first one. First one's great. First one's a fantastic movie. Yeah, every Christmas Eve, once we've done all the presents and shit for the kids, wifey and I sit down and watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which then I guess I've seen at least 12 times, 13 times, and we'll be in for a lot more times.
He asks you to stop right there and wonders.
You've never seen the first Die Hard. That blows me away. It's so good. Wait for training.
He says that it's not too late for you to turn.
Oh, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass.
He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets pushed down along the way.
I'm gonna fuck this guy up. Look at his goofball friend there, Nelson Bunce. Just never happened. Oh. I think I can't do that pig thing, so I think I don't have a double weapon now. Can I shoot them? No. Disciples. I only watch sci-fi and fantasy. Alright. I think the people blur the lines between sci-fi and fantasy. It's not that hard to distinguish, really. But I don't necessarily have a particular genre I just watch. Sort of anything that's entertaining. What the fuck happened there? Just take my weapon.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Jesus, she's massive. I didn't realise how big she was.
She says it. The most
She said
important
some shit.
thing is that you're okay.
That's not the most important thing.
It's time to focus on your training now.
I mean, there is a lot of good sci-fi. The Notebook. You know, I've never watched The Notebook. I don't think I have any desire to watch The Notebook. I had a girlfriend at one stage who absolutely hated that movie with all of her being, and yeah, I think that influences my decision to never want to watch The Notebook. Is this a flashback? This is right? It must be. I wasn't paying any attention.
Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
NZ Neo selling first playthroughs. Any tips? Yeah, don't fucking watch me. That's my tip for you. Yeah, no. I've honestly, I'm just fumbling my way through this at the moment. I'm just happy to have someone with an NZ here. That's exciting. Still tear up a little. Yeah, well.
He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all. He suggests you
when I jumped in.
find him gadgets and
Yeah, I'm
ideas
just
for
fucking
how
around
you
at the
can
moment. I'm
upcycle
just,
some old
I don't know.
fabrics.
I'm basically in an extended tutorial, and I've been going for almost 2 hours. Search the cloth pile. I don't want to search the fucking cloth pile. Wait, what cloth pile? Oh, I guess that one. It's very much sort of go here, do this, now go here, do that. I haven't got much agency at the moment, but I'll get there. What I will do is I'll play a bit tomorrow afternoon off stream and learn what the fuck I'm doing, and then I'll be far more useful tomorrow. I'm hoping. Oh, I was going to say, where the fuck's the last one? It's right there.
He's curious to see what you found.
Some shit. Yeah, it is fun.
He's all
I don't have any
He says
hang-ups
it's
about
time you
people
learn how, and
seeing
offers
me
to
fail
teach you,
miserably.
starting with the scrap you found.
Gear crafting. Yeah, I did this already. Add on. Well, I guess just go with the most expensive shit, yeah? That's got to help. There you go, there's my hint for you, NZ Neo. Go with the most expensive shit. Good thing too. Yeah, Sparkle just likes to make fun of me because I keep getting eaten by dogs and crushed by ceilings. It's like a loop, like a death loop of stupidity. That'll do. I mean, I just really want to jack up 30, 32, 33, 33. That'll do. Alright, craft that shit. Yeah, I got a thing. Although if this is a flashback, I can't see that's going to help me
The
that much.
style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He's
Yeah,
looking forward
I wasn't
to seeing
fucking
what you
making it
make
for you,
next.
dude.
It seems you have a talent for this.
No. I will be the judge of that. This is my stream. Don't you fucking make promises that you cannot substantiate. Oh, we're back with the ponies. Love it. Oh, here we go. Told you it's a fucking big long tutorial.
Your Mooma says it's about time you got.
Oh, thanks for the follow, NZ Neo. Appreciate that. I'm just happy to get some more NZ people in here because I'm stuck with these crazy left-wing Americans all the time. Baked potato as well. Love it. Okay, so how the fuck do I get rid of you now? Oh, whatever. I'm just Sparkle and Fade will just be happy to know there's more than one person in New Zealand now. I'm pretty sure he thought I was anyone here. So I'm here now. Yeah, don't give me shit, woman. Just teach me how to hit people with a stick. Oh, yeah, do some Tai Chi. They're a pretty good form for a dwarf. It felt like a lot of spinning to do just to punch the fucking thing. There's 7 of you. We're all related too. That's why I've got 6 toes. All together.
Your Mooma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Okay. I'll try harder next time. Actually, yeah, I've just discovered. He must be hiding behind a tree. I've just discovered NZ Neo is here as well.
With the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what he is.
8 is at least 7 things. Jesus, we're getting math lessons now. Okay, oh Jesus, get that fucking thing. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Automaton. Yeah. Missed the fucking
Your
thing.
Mooma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
I bet she has seen an apparatus as green as that little thing.
A piece of scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Cool.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Is she waiting for me to say something? God. Let's go if anything bad happens.
You're lucky to have such a fine help.
Ah, it's the ponies. I feel so much joy when I see them little horses.
No wonder. It's been a long day.
They're not horses, they're ponies. Hey, Caillou. Game's going well? I'm not even sure, man. I'm just taking along here. There's a lot of sort of fucking jargon here of like I don't understand at the moment. They just start referring to this tribe and this Sifu and that Mooma, and I'm like, I don't know how these people relate to me. That fucking thing looks bad though.
From setting the world on fire.
Yeah, I know, I was just thinking that. But it's good. She just tapped me, she's like, oh, come on. Not grab me and race me out of the building, just like, follow me.
A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire.
Other stuff do you normally play? So, oh, fucking hell. I've just come off playing Kronos. Before that I was doing Resident Evil. I've been doing a bit of Resident Evil lately.
Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
All sorts of shit, man. I did Assassin's Creed before that. I do indie games, I do AAAs, I do sort of whatever grabs my fancy, really. What about yourself, NZ Neo? Obviously Biomutant, as of tomorrow.
This time there's no escape. She can hear him.
These are just the emoji tab. Try to chat before and after stream. Oh, okay, so you're streaming while you're lurking. Wow, okay. Anything you can get trophies in. Yeah, anything I can get a platinum in. If it's got excuse me, if it's got multiplayer, it can go get fucked. Oh, Jesus. Well, that wasn't great. So on FIFA, so I need a new game, but I mean, it looked cool. So I can do that on stream. And it was free. Be honest, it was fucking free. That's the reason I'm playing it. I had this, and I had Abe's Odyssey lined up. The new whatever Abe's Odyssey it is. Free Xbox Game Pass, and it's great. Oh. Am I actually supposed to be killing this guy? Or can I just let my fucking trainer do it? And buying it when it came out. I was actually really surprised to see this come up free because it's only earlier this year that it came out. But hey, good, because I found that since the PS5 came out, the PSN free games have been pretty fucking average, to be honest. And so it's good we're actually getting some, I wouldn't say AAA games, but, you know, some more renowned and larger indie games. This fucking thing got its health back. Yes.
You must go through fire and water to make it out of here.
Oh. Got fucking flung. Jesus.
Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, that's not what that saying means. Anyway.
You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow.
I tried a cumulative of 20 tabs going 24/7 even 20 tabs? He's always looking out. I was told that you can tell me I'm wrong, this is only second information, but I was told that you can run 2 tabs as a your channel can only run 2 tabs. After that they don't count towards other people's views. I don't know how you would prove it, but that's what I was told. Fuck. My shitty laptops can barely handle 1 tab each. For ad revenue still counts. Oh wow, okay. Well, thank you. Speaking of ad revenue, my revenue for the last couple of days has been nothing. It's like 7 cents, and I know I did like 2 hours, an average 18 viewers or something, and it's just fucking me at the moment. You are amazing. I am amazing. I'm glad that everyone's recognising that. It's taken a while, but I don't like to tell you. I want you to come to that conclusion on your own. Fucking fly. Dumb as shit.
If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next.
Life must go on.
Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up
for something,
anything
right?
to say
Yeah.
what you truly care
You've obviously got a computer that can hack it. I always had a PC in my younger days. I haven't had a desktop computer in years.
What you do for your kin remains.
Because I've had work jobs that supply me with a laptop, and I just sort of don't need to invest when I've got... I mean, I have 3 laptops at my disposal at the moment. Yeah.
As the moment fades,
Some of the rigs that people in the group have got, I mean, I think Toothless is running a pretty good rig.
It simply means you need to move on.
Always had consoles. I've always been a console gamer. I mean, I played like Command and Conquer and shit back in the day on PC, but I've always been a console gamer. A fiber install to take forever. Fall Guys, Slay the Spire. I love Slay the Spire. I don't have the platinum on that because it just looks like such a slog, but it's a great game. FIFA, and then whatever other games looked good. And stream some old school RuneScape off my computer at some point. Whisper does RuneScape. Whisper was in here before as well. Let's fucking go. Oh, don't. Okay. Now's the time to just ban him, because he will just come and make fun of you when you die. And then I notice he's not streaming anymore, so I can't go and return the favour. Slay the spy on PC. Well, shit, man. Can I rescue that thing? Or set it free at least?
Better watch out. It's no pet.
I want it to be my pet. Elza Bells. How you doing? So close in 99. Be great. Els, it's the boss.
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulks on the loose.
Oh. Defeat? I don't want to defeat it. I want to fucking ride it. Whoa. I should probably not have done that. And take its butt. Oh, shit. I'm fucking rolled here. My dodging skills could be better. There you go, there's another hint for you for tomorrow. Learn to fucking dodge. Ah. Slay the Spire is one of those addictive games. And right when you think you're getting the hang of it, you go and play a different character and realise you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm going to die very shortly. What have we got in the way of health? Oh. We're all good. Yes, thank you, bastard. Stand in the acidy stuff. Yes, come to me, fucker.
You've used up all your key energy.
Yes, I have. No ranged weapon. Well, I should get one. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Maybe I should not just stand there and take it like a man. Run. Fucking hell. Jesus. Sorry, yeah, I've got distracted all of a sudden. Anyways, it was good to chat. We'll catch you stream another time. Yeah, good. I'll keep an eye out for you when you're streaming. Now that I've followed you, it'll tell me. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chatting.
They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders
fucking kiss your mother with that mouth?
to
What do you say to me?
Mercadorpa's outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost.
Is it far? My God, is it far?
Not really. It's west of Bricktown. You can spot Gizmo's chug yard from
She's
the hill
in
it
Brick
resides on.
Town. Tribal begins. Only for the Americans. Yeah, besides me. Did you like that? I look so shocked. He looks upset at you as well. You made such an entrance. You like fucking kicked the door in like Schwarzenegger. Coming in. True. It does open inwards too, so I don't know how you did it, but you did it. I don't really want to move on too much because I've got like 1 minute to go. I should level up. That's what I should do. Health would probably not hurt. Upgrade points. What do I use that shit for? Oh, here we go. Close combat. Oh, but nothing. Nice. Oh. Ex-Lenore. Eleanor. Is that another one of Elsa's? Another one of her personalities? She tricking me. Oh, and there's my alarm. Righto. Well, let's go see Yoshi. I assume he'll be on. There he is. Do you get to create your own animal? You're always a mouse. I'm not even sure I'm a mouse, dude. Like a fucking rat. So I could pick. Yeah, I did at the start. There was all sorts of options, but I just sort of cruised through down the middle because I didn't really know. There's a problem, mate. You start a game, you don't know what the choices you're making, what influence they're going to have. Second run, you go, oh, well, now I know how to build a character. But otherwise, no fucking clue. Right, let's go see Yoshi. Get this raid on the go. Thank you for everybody. We got there in the end. We got 30 viewers in the end, which was nice. And we'll go see Yoshi playing Disco Elysium because he loves that game. Right, see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Peace out. Bye. What else is happening here? Gear. Go to crafting table, craft weapons, modify gear. Yeah, cool. I fucking will. Crafting tab. Inventory. Craft. Alright. Chump. Oh, did I scrap all this stuff because I know what the fuck it did? That was stupid. What's he doing? No, just fucks around with it. Clicky bug. They're called clicky bugs. You had it right. Craft. Torso? Right. Oh, okay. Right. Modify. Base type. Oh, Jesus. 1 of 7. Craft and gear requires certain resources. Scrap parts together you don't want. We'll give you resources next craft. Yeah, okay. I know how crafting works in every fucking game ever. So now high quality weapon, more damage. High quality weapons deal more damage. Holy shit. Great bench materials. The others made of shown here. Better materials made for stronger, more powerful weapons. The material of an item upgraded. Great bench. Some pieces and add-ons have a special effect on them. These can deal hazard damage depending on the special effect. Great. 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 Moving on. 84 to 123. Whoa. Oh, alright. But I want to dual wield, which probably means but I can't use a hammer, I'm assuming. Damage 80 to 110. Well, how the fuck do I... Oh, why is equipping it in a different fucking hand? It's just annoying. It didn't raid me out. What? I'll try and raid him again then. One of you are ready to raid. No, everyone else. I'm 2 now. Looks like everyone else went. Well, I won't raid him again because everyone else went. It is still showing me as 30 viewers though. Is anyone else around? I'm leaving behind him. Good. Yeah, I'm not going to play for much longer, dude. I just sort of wait till I start seeing my viewer count drop off, so I know that I've rated out. I mean, I know I have because my other tab here has changed from me to him, and he's showing us 22 viewers. So he must have picked them up. It's whack as fuck. Bah, bah. What have we got here? We could talk politics and save the world, seeing it's only me and you. Consumables. Fuck, I got a lot of stuff in here. So that way can work now. Just mess with people. Just go and randomly unplug something and see how long you've got the nerve to leave it unplugged before you plug it back in again. Meet the war party. I want to meet the fucking war party. Out of control room. That's pretty funny. Okay, now it's telling me it's 28. Yeah, and then when they come running in, panic, the look on your face. You ever done that thing where you're like driving along and you think, I wonder how long I can close my eyes for and still stay in this lane? Same thing, but with other people's lives instead of your own. I suppose when you do it in the car, it is still other people's lives.
Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted on motorcycle.
Yeah, that'll never work out badly. Ever been in a motorbike accident? Oh yeah, 12. I remember now.
But for us,
I'm not as crazy as you.
Look, an emergency box from the old days when you,
wow. Oh yes, here we go. I'll work long fist. Only 3. That's like 1 time and then 2 more times. It's too many times. This powerful tool can be used to punch through walls. Great. It can be used as a weapon. It can be equipped from the gear menu. I don't want to fucking use a weapon. Now unlock special attacks for this weapon type. The one full menu. Press that shit. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I do want to go punch a hole in the wall though. To use the flung for smash through the wall, you need to have it equipped, then hold and release. Oh, for fuck, is it equipped? Take that, fucker. Fell asleep on the bike. I suppose it happens. I mean, I have fallen asleep at the wheel. Not particularly proud of that fact, but it has happened. And we're through. To switch weapons, either use the quick select menus or go to the gear menu. Oh, we'll use the quick select, thank you very much. I bet that's a pretty fucking rude awakening when you fall asleep on a bike. You wake up flying through the air.
Like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it?
New one food. Oh shit. No range weapon. Well, what the fuck happened to my fucking gun? Oh, I dozed off when I was almost home. Well, that happens. It generally happens when you are closest to home.
Right where it comes.
Hitting with special attack fills one of your super wingfu icons to the left of your character. All kinds of field you can have at the super wingfu state. Cool. Different special attack to fill the next icon. I don't have a different attack, so fuck you. Tell me what to do. Jesus Christ.
in the face.
Right in the face.
Watch it.
There's an episode you'd like. It's a paid one though, so I'm going to try. Free link if you're interested. Yeah? What's the podcast? Jordan Peterson. You'd hate him. You'd hate him. Unionist perspective on bad unions. Yeah. So, it's just a union perspective on all unions. Weird. Fuck, I'm scared. I've never crossed a picket line in my life. It helps that I've never picketed anything in my life, so. Whoa. So why did I kick so much ass right there at the end? I don't fucking quite understand how I do things at the moment. Go through the trash. Good on you. Make the war party. Alright, I guess we're leaving. Had an interesting thing in my local town. In fact, you know what? I was going to start talking the political thing here, but I would have to then explain how our political system works, which is quite, unless you already kind of understand it. And then that's just going to suck for everyone. Mainly me. Oh, should I look at that board, do you think? Jesus.
That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it.
On the rampage corruption and collaborationist unions. Okay, interesting.
Well, small ones.
Rampage. I like the term rampage, though.
And there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another.
The soon as the US from
There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried.
I find there's a doco on Netflix, I think, called Chinese Factory. American Factory? I can't remember what it was called exactly. Anyway, the gist of it is, I'm going to fucking pause this game because I'm going to call it quits in a minute. The gist of it is, it's a doco on an American town where they had a glass factory. It closed down. And it is claimed that it closed down because the cost of employment just got too high. The unions basically controlled it. And they just, in the end, the company just walked away. And it gets bought out by a Chinese, one of the biggest glass manufacturers in the world. He buys this American factory and then sends Chinese people over to train the local American people how they want it done, same way they do it in China. It's a very interesting sort of culture clash of expectations versus the reality of operating in a foreign country. It's like he takes some of the American management to China to see how their factories are running, and they just cannot fucking believe just the attitude of the people there. But, you know, eventually it leads to the American workforce wanting to unionize again, having not learnt where it got them the first time, and the Chinese owners just saying, if you unionize, I'll just fucking pull out. Like, it is not worth it for me to be here. And it's, you know, you can argue both sides of it. I mean, I understand the view of the people that were saying, well, I used to work here and get $20 an hour, and now I work here and get $7, and I'm doing the same job. We should unionize so I get paid more and get, you know, a better quality of life. But it's also like, but you can cut off your nose to spite your face. Yeah, I mean, it probably is illegal, dude, but this Chinese business owner was just like, this is how we do it in China. And that's what I say. It is a interesting view of just this culture clash of this is how we do business in our country. I'm now buying a business in your country. And the Chinese guy clearly thinks he's doing them a favor because he's like, well, this factory was dead and your town was dead and now I've given you employment. But it's employment at a rate way lower than what they're used to. And the people, and it's interesting because half the factory is split, obviously, whereas some of them are saying, well, hang on, this is what cost us our jobs last time, and the other half is saying, well, we will never have good enough pay and make a living out of it if we don't. So it's, people that remained unionists up against people that were union but then no longer sort of believe in it. There's a lot going on in this whole documentary. And this Chinese guy, he's just fucking, he goes into this place and he's like, I don't like that fire alarm there on the wall. Move it somewhere where you can't see it. Move it down here. And they're just trying to explain to him, well, the regulations in America are, it has to be there. And he's like, I don't like it. Just move it. And he's like, I don't give a fuck what the regulations are. Just move it. And the American guys that are supposed to be helping us at this factory are just looking at each other like, what are we going to do here? I think it's on Netflix. You should try and find it. I can do a new Wang Fu. No, I can't. I've got fucking nothing. Why is it telling me I can do a new one? Lying shitheads. Ah, oh, Super Wang Fu. It's trying to explain to me. I do have bio points though. How the fuck do I spend those? Where do they go? View that confrontational labour is best in the long run. Like just saying, well, something's better than nothing. Shouldn't fight for anything better. It's how you wind up with stagnant wages for 50 years. It's very true. Although stagnant wages is only a problem if inflation is high, or if inflation is present. If there's no inflation or if there's deflation, stagnant wages aren't necessarily a problem. I mean, we have every year our wages go up in New Zealand. Our minimum wage goes up every year, but our inflation outpaces it. So even though those people are not on stagnant wages, they're not doing any better. The problem isn't their wage. The problem is inflation. Well, I mean, fucking, in a real world scenario, it's both, really. You want people to be gaining more and having a better quality of life. What we have here is their wages go up, inflation goes up by more, and even though they've been paid more, their quality of life goes down. Where the fuck do I spend these things? Oh, here, okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. They're always present. Here it says net deflation. My parents' lifetime. Live on my own. Fuck. Fucking fly. Yeah, inflation's very present for us at the moment. We had 7% inflation last month. That's crazy. This year. Yeah, see, we're in different markets, man. I understand. I mean, I shouldn't say I understand what's going on in the States because I don't, because I'm not part of it. It's easy to say, oh, I get it. I get it at a surface level. But we are in very different markets. In New Zealand, the labour laws are set up as such that the labourer, the employee, is protected above all else. I mean, would it be a bad idea to just upgrade everything here? Do I want to fucking do any of this shit? SideQuest, Brooktown. Apparently it's better than what I'm wearing. Equip the fucking thing then. You got inflation productivity, how many dollars the worker earns per hour? $37 an hour. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've got someone else entering into the fray here. $37 an hour instead of $7.25 an hour. That is insane. Finding your work is you rely on the employer in good faith to give you raises. Send them withhold raises. They guarantee when hiring. Yeah, backup. What's oh, geez, I better get this name right. Fucking hell. Oh, I just got a follow from somebody who's not even talking to us. Jack Howell. Right. I'm going with Icregula. Jesus, just correct me on that. Spell it phonetically because I'm a dumb fuck, which you'll learn pretty quickly. You've got backup.
Better luck next time.
You might be Canadian. Not much backup. Right, but you can just call me Craig if you want. No, I don't fucking want to. From the US. Okay, well, next very important question. Where in the US are you? And this isn't important when it comes to labour laws. I don't give a fuck about that.
The forest has so many kinds of trees.
Take over
this
your chapter.
Ohio
Ohio.
is called Bricktown.
What's the MLB team? I don't want to fucking do this game anymore. Guardians. You know, you guys, there's a concerted effort around the world to come here and break my heart, to come into my own stream and fucking just ruin my shit. I don't understand it. I know what I've done. I guess it's karma. It must be karma. Wait, is there another one? I'm just fucking around now. I'm more interested in talking to you guys. I don't know why I'm bothering doing this shit. Where do we plot? Who did the Guardians pick up today? I fucking saw that. Oh, Josh Bell. Guardians got Josh Bell. That'll be good for them, because they need some power. Yeah. That must be one of Elsa's. Alright. What's funny, Sparkle, is that you're like, I've got backup. You think we're arguing different points, and we're not. We're arguing different countries. Can I get in there? I punch my way in? No, I don't need to. I can just walk my way in. Let me in. Holy fuck. Look at that thing. Fuck yeah, give me that. Why can't I equip it? I'm probably not good enough to equip it. No, you wouldn't. Because you're a smart guy. Pick out, take all.
Well, what do you know?
Turn down for like everything. At least you know when a raise is coming. You don't rely on corporate to decide if they want to. Yeah, the discussion we have, Craig. I will just call you Craig because that's your name. I'm assuming. Otherwise, you're just like, oh, call me Craig. It's not my name. It's just a weird thing I like people to call me. Is that in New Zealand we have very different labour laws, and it changes the perspective of your average person when it comes to unions. So I want to. That's what I want to do. Yeah. I feel like fisting your way into a building. So you say. I do say. And as seeing NZ Neo's fucked off, I am your only New Zealand connection. So my word is gospel. Incendiary module. Ooh.
Nice find.
Unable to equip. Fantastic. What's with the toilets? Why do I fish shit out of the toilet? Filtered mask. Ew. I'll take it, but I'm not fucking wearing it. As a stopgap. Everything is perfect and is done. They're supposed to. It's too long to put on my screen. It's a band-aid on an infected wound. So they're fighting the good fight that they are destined to lose. I could just run around here and collect shit. Take all. Yep. I suppose I'll take all.
There's still time before the dawn.
Cannot be sold under capitalism. No. But unfortunately, sort of like some people within my country, you can sit around and bemoan the state of capitalism and how it's ruined this and that and the other thing. But it is the life that you have. It is the country you reside in, and there's, you can bemoan it all you like. Really, you should be looking for ways to improve it rather than disband it. Because we're too far down the capitalism road to just go, well, that's bad. I thought I could rob his corpse. No? I mean, obviously not. The feudal lords worked out good for them.
That's a resource totem.
Oh.
A monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean.
Can I break it? Found a scrap to bash it with your weapon to gather materials for craft weapons. Well, I was gonna fucking do that anyway.
Scrap's great for building things.
I guess it would be. I mean, case in point, we have a government presently in New Zealand that, much like yourself, don't believe in capitalism. I really need to set up a cost stream. A co-stream, I guess that means. Yep. I gotcha. There's probably supposed to be a hyphen in there somewhere, but I'll let you off. Yeah, our present government, they're not big fans of capitalism. They're not big fans of actually spending money, fiscal responsibility. They're just like, I'll put it this way, they're not big fans of balancing an economy in any way that's going to be useful for the future. So their idea is, when you run out of money, print more money. And then just keep promising more and then keep printing more. And so that's what socialism is. Although that's what they would like to frame themselves as. So saying that a capitalist government, which you would have to say is what we have,
this box once
works to varying degrees depending on who's running it. To say it just doesn't work
it's darkest between
isn't
the
to
stars.
say that it couldn't work. Private ownership of the means of production. Yeah. Can I get in there? No. What? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even the ones that claim to be fucking socialist or I mean, look at China, right? Claim to be, or at one point claimed to be communist, although they sort of don't throw it around as much now. It's like, yeah, but then we set up special economic zones so we can be capitalists within zone. It's like, okay, well, just admit that you want money.
Tribes always scavenge, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have started looting instead of playing around with sprockets.
How have I not got a fucking gun? Socialist. I confuse folks as to the actual. I don't know what the rest of your things is. Yeah, what socialism is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not all over it, so I'll say socialist is not.
It's becoming terminal.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, obviously this is something that you're very passionate about and therefore have researched more than your average person. And me being your average person in this conversation.
That's going to leave a mark.
I mean, I can sit around and bemoan how we should try a different form of government, or we should try this, we should try that. Fact is, none of it's going to change. So, there are people that will spend their whole life fucking just aggravated. You know, we have in New Zealand basically professional protesters who are just wandering around looking for causes to be angry about. And it's like, they'll spend their whole life doing that. And they'll get to the end and go, okay, well, that was fun. Got on TV a lot. Didn't achieve anything. I'll be being that when it falls apart. Where opposed to it will be worse. It won't fall apart. What are you talking about? You're of the opinion that the world's going to end by then anyway, aren't you? What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ. Human life on the planet's going to end. Because we're killing the world. Fuck, I'm killing this guy. Jesus. It's not entirely... The subhumans will survive underground.
So much damage.
I mean, this guy's not even anything to do with anything. I'm just attacking him because I haven't finished my stream yet. How about that dude? Let's attack him.
Keep an eye out for wildlife.
The large swathes of the planet will be underwater, famine, stress, etc. That's a fairly broad statement to make. And made as though it's a fact as well, which is interesting. Fuck, I'm miles away from where I thought I was. What the fuck is that? Chug yard. Oh, hang on. I've got to level up here. Vitality, strength. So I just don't feel like I'm doing enough damage.
You've been working out.
I think that's the way I'm going to go. Now, I can do burns every year, just trout. broken every year, etc. Pretending it's not happening. There's no debate to be had here, mate. There is no reasonable discussion to be had around climate change. It can't be done. It's like saying to someone these days, let's have a reasonable discussion about the Holocaust. It's like you can't, there's no debate to be had. I don't even know if I want to go that way. Where is my journal? There. Side quest. What is the main quest I'm supposed to be doing here? System of operation fall apart. Whatever comes after will be worse. I'm sure I'm supposed to say. You are a pessimist. First of all, it's not falling apart. There are too many people with vested interests to allow that to happen. Vanilla. Was there someone called Vanilla? A little bit worse. And he said it from his iPhone. I don't want to play this fucking game anymore. Oh, I got the follow from Craig too. Sorry, man, I didn't see that at the time. That was a bit rude, wasn't it? 9 minutes ago. What time is it? Fuck. It's 10:30 for me, and I know you people go. That's not late because you people all play till fucking 4 in the morning. But I'm old, so you know. Every day's a little bit worse. That is very pessimistic. I don't think the human race is moving forward. I feel so it works more hours per day than a medieval peasant. It has a far better quality of life than a medieval peasant. Medieval peasant couldn't stand up and start whinching about their life. They get fucking executed. Everyone these days is so keen to just be extreme and doomsday. I don't get it. There's this desperation to believe that everything is fucked, everything is terrible, and I'm just like, man, what are we laying on our kids? You know, the kids get taught at school, the planet's ruined, we're all fucked. There's nothing you can do about it. We're already past the tipping point. And it's like, man, I hate to grow up in this time. That's the message you get constantly. The planet's fucked. You did it. Your parents did it. It's all done. What's that to lay on a kid? Oh, fuck. House is nicer than a peasant. His fucking wife and kids more than I do. You can still do that, mate. There's plenty of people in my country that see their wife and kids all day, every day. Don't go to work at all. I'm paying for them. I'm a nice fucking guy. I go to work and don't see my family so that they can stay home and see theirs all day. Who has the better life? You do. Because your life expectancy is 80 and you're not going to die of fucking the plague tomorrow. I just want 30 years longer than he needed to. So, like, fuck, you're negative. You're such a pessimist. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. You could go off the grid. You could go live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You could immigrate to another country and live like a peasant. I mean, your world is full of choice in a way that his world wasn't. A retirement home. No, you could choose to self-terminate. It's always an option. Like parking a car in the driveway and waiting for it to die. Fuck. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna put this game down. I'm gonna go to bed. Where am I tomorrow? I'm in Tauranga tomorrow. It'll make a wonderful life. Could be. Could be. I don't know. It depends how you view that particular act. You know, some people have a very extreme view. You know, I had fucking a guy sitting in the staff room not long ago. He's like, suicide is the most selfish thing you can do. Fucking blah blah. And I was like, all right. Well, how about you go find the parents of somebody that took their life and tell them how selfish their kid was, if that's your absolute conviction. You know, people have various ways of ending their life. I mean, not everyone wants to sit around and wait for cancer to take them or whatever. We've cured that many fucking diseases. I mean, medical science, the way it is these days, they can keep you chugging along with years past your expiry date. I certainly did with my grandma. Look at that amazing life. No, I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure most people that do don't have an amazing life. But there are people in the world that say, you know what, I'm at a point where I've got a terminal illness, I've lived a life, I've seen my kids grow up, whatever. Assisted suicide, thank you very much. That's a choice that they make. Not everyone makes the choice for the same reason. Is that legal in the States in some places? It's sort of coming in New Zealand. We had a bill that got passed on it, but I sort of don't know where it's at now. I think it's legal in some states. I may be wrong. Oh, actually, on that subject, sorry, I'm going to derail us for a minute, but you asked before if weed was illegal in New Zealand. It's legal in one state, if I recall. Is it Texas? Everything's fucking legal in Texas. Yeah, you were saying is marijuana legal in New Zealand? No, it is not. Oregon. Oh, really? It's a weird state. I mean, they don't have a fucking MLB team, so they used to have a good AAA team. We had a referendum on this at the last election. It was sort of tacked on to the general election. Are all hippies? They're all about peace and love. They shouldn't be about fucking termination. And it went to the popular vote of the people, and it didn't quite get over the threshold, but I think there wasn't a lot of education around legalising it in New Zealand. We have this weird habit in New Zealand, and it does my head in, where someone proposes something, and then the doomsayers come out and they go, "Oh, if you do that, this terrible thing will happen." And we're not smart enough to say, well, actually, there's many places in the world that already do this. We're not cutting edge, you know. Oh, if you legalise marijuana, then everyone's going to be addicted to meth in 5 years, and it's a gateway drug, and this blah blah blah, and this is what's going to happen, and we're absolutely sure about it. And you go, well, you know, there are places in the world that this has been legal for many, many years, and that is not the case. So we don't have to hypothesize about the evils that are going to happen. We can look at evidence from other places and say, well, actually, this is how it's been done effectively in other places. But, you know, we like to pretend that we're the first people in the world to ever do anything. It's a weird thing. I think it comes to this isolation mentality that we're somehow different, and whatever happens elsewhere in the world, it won't work here. I still voted against it, personally, but that's just me. Well, first of all, the the referendum, there was not a lot of information behind it, right? It was sort of a, how do you feel about legalizing marijuana? Now, to me, there's a big difference between decriminalizing something and legalizing something. No, I don't smoke either. I have in the past, but I don't now. And even in the past, I wasn't a heavy user. It's sort of just a short window in my life when I was with someone that smoked a fair bit, so I tended to a little bit, but not much. But I don't smoke cigarettes either, so smoking something in general is just foreign practice to me. But if you were to say, or do you want to deregulate it so, we're no longer going to criminalise people that are choosing to do it, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I can probably get on board with that. We're not going to waste police resources on shit that people I find are going out of their way to do anyway, and it's sort of like, yeah, whatever. But legalising it to the point where it's like, well, now we're going to sell it in the coffee shop. It's like, yeah, if you'd asked me that in my mid-20s, I would have gone, yeah, what do I care? Great. You asked me that in my mid-30s when I have 3 kids, and I'm like, what benefit does this have to them to change this law? If they had said, well, we're going to regulate it heavily and we're going to tax the shit out of it and we're going to apply those taxes towards healthcare or fucking mental health or drug rehabilitation or fucking whatever, and there was a plan moving forward, then I could have been swayed by argument. But there was sort of just a, do you want to legalise marijuana, yes or no? And that was as much thought as was put into it. So I thought, not without knowing what the plan is, which I think is a fair judgment to make. If you want to change something, interesting. We're good at doing referendums here with no information on it. So we have a political system called MMP, right? Mixed Member Proportionate, which means that every party that you can vote for, if they get enough votes to break the bottom threshold, which is 5%, then they get members into Parliament. And in theory, if they have a 5% stake in the vote, then they will have a 5% say in how the country is run. That was the theory behind MMP. The issue is it because most people on Twitch are sitting there smoking on screen? The fuck was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, no one's been a fan of MMP since it came in. It has immediately resulted in the worst possible case, which is small parties that almost no one voted for, basically holding the country to ransom. I am a fairly libertarian. Like I was saying, people are out there smoking, I don't give a fuck, But I think there's a difference to saying, there's a difference between morality and legislation, and there's a difference between allowing people to do something they want, criminalising them for doing it, or publicising that you should do it and making it widely available. These are all different points on a spectrum. And so when I say just decriminalise it, and first of all, it's sort of the people that want to get it anyway. It's not like if I wanted to go and score some weed, I could do it in about 20 minutes. It's not like I would find it hard to find. But then being criminalised for it is sort of like, well, that's the deterrent for not doing that. Plus, health and safety law in New Zealand, most employers drug test anyway. So, and then they have a policy that precludes you from using drugs, whether it's legal or not, within the workplace. So it's sort of not that beneficial to the country in that way. But, if someone wants to, fucking, the last workplace I had didn't have a drug policy, and I could have wandered around there and said, yeah, well, that guy's on drugs. Half of them came to work stoned. If they can do the job, what do I care? What do I care about their personal life? I'd look at the same way as someone that wants to go home and drink a six-pack every night. That's fine. That's their prerogative. But yeah, I just think there is a difference between decriminalising something and legalising something, and there needs to be discussion on that before I vote on it. Catch me on a different day, I'd probably go, yeah, fine. So, I'm not like I'm taking a hard line. Like you say, I don't really have a dog in the fight. It's something that I could do if I chose to now, but choose not to. interesting. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, MMP, another one of our referendums. So they said, well, everyone's complaining about MMP. So they said, well, we'll have a referendum to change it. So they just put this referendum out, and they said, well, here's 4 other options. But there was absolutely no education, no campaigning around what those options were, how they were going to work in real life. Like when we used to have a political system, first past the post. I support though I don't much care about the issue. The only thing I really care about is how many Americans are in prison for years over a fucking plant. Yeah, and this is my point. Decriminalise it. Stop wasting police time. Stop wasting the country's resources. You know, people want to do it, then do it. Fine. What do I care? But yeah, you have to wonder, especially when they do. Yeah, it depends how the sentencing works. Like in the States, sentencing is based on like a weight. So if you get caught with 10 sheets of acid, they weigh the paper, and it's like, but that's not the drug, that's the carrier. You know? It's like if I caught you with a briefcase of weed, you wouldn't weigh the briefcase. Anyway, it's beside the point. See, you would have to be pretty aggressively growing and distributing it in New Zealand, even now, even with its illegal status, to really go to prison for it. I mean, we don't even lock people up for manslaughter these days. It's all fucking, oh well, if we can put you on home detention, we'll do that. You know, there's been a real turn in New Zealand to try and keep people out of prison as much as possible, regardless whether they deserve it or not. It's a strange thing. But that is a debate that I'm sure you would be very keen to have, but I am definitely too tired to start. Voting with Parliament. Drawbacks, but it's better than the first past the post one take all system like we have. You wind up with 2 parties that are largely identical. I think I wouldn't say it's better. I'd say it's different. I think there was. I mean, in theory, how a political system should work is that if a party gets voted in, they do what they said they were going to do, and if the people of New Zealand are happy with what they've done, then that party gets voted in again. We have 3-year terms here. I know you guys are on 4-year terms. So, in theory, you could continue forever as long as you are representing New Zealand in a way that the people believe is functional. Whereas what we have with MMP now is that you can have one party get 49% of the vote, and you can have 10 other parties cobble together 51% of the vote, none of them having more than about 8%. And they can now legitimately claim to be a government, form a government, and then basically spend 3 years not achieving anything because they all have different ideals. Whereas the majority of people, or, well, I forget if I phrase that, obviously 49% is not a majority, but when you can have 49% of the population agree on one thing and the rest is dispersed on 20 points of view, you would have to say that the 49% of people that agree on one thing have more legitimacy to govern than the rest. That's right, but those 51% all have very different views. I mean, you may cast your vote specifically for one party because you hate another party, and then once your vote is cast, they can then go and form a coalition, and you end up with the policies of the ones that you absolutely dislike, because your vote is transient in the MMP. At least with first past the post, you voted for your party. If they lost, they lost. That was it. They didn't fucking get in. If they won, they won. They got in, and they could should enact the policies that they campaigned on. Whether they do or not is a very different story. And whether there's any accountability or not is a very different story. So MMP here, the first year it came in, we had a party that got 6% of the vote that basically held the country over a barrel for weeks, just trying to sort of dictate how he was going to run the country. Somebody that got 6% of the vote. It's insane. Or a non-incumbent Republican hasn't won the popular vote since '88. to get the presidency 4 times since then. Hasn't won the popular vote since 4 times since then. Yeah, it's a great system. I'm not sure that the American system is great either. But we had... See, what was interesting is, I remember 93, right? I was only fucking 11. But when they wanted to change to MMP, referendum 93, what's it going to be? There was everywhere campaigning for months about changing to this political system. When the vast majority of New Zealanders turn around and say, actually, we don't like it now, we've had it for 20 years, we want to change to something else, no campaigning about what your other options are. They basically said, oh, we'll do a referendum, but we really don't want to change because this way we get way more people in Parliament, way more politicians, more of us get a job. So let's just keep doing what we're doing, thanks. We're not really here to represent the people. We're here to represent ourselves. Hey, buddy, come for a cuddle. We're supposed to be asleep. See, I think America is an interesting thing. I think your electoral college system, as much as it's not perfect, is a very interesting way to go about it, because I think there is a vast difference between a voter in New York and a voter in Atlanta and a voter in Louisiana. You know, they have different ideas about life, they have different viewpoints, they have different quality of life, standard of living. In New Zealand, we have almost the same standard of living right across the country. So having various electorates, they all vote on about the same thing. I mean, to encourage parties to work together rather, since they usually don't have a clean majority rate. Majority, rather than ignore everyone else. It doesn't do that. No, well, it's not that I think it doesn't do that. It's that historically in New Zealand, it's been shown to not do that at all. I mean, the last government they came together with 3 parties, got in, and basically enacted 0 of their policies because they couldn't agree. They all decided they wanted to be in power, but they could never actually get anything done because they all disagreed with each other in principle. They just knew that if they bound together, they got to be the ruling party. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, twice in the time that we've had MMP, we've had the same party hold the country over a barrel. You know, different parties with different ideologies form coalitions. Yeah, they did because they want to be in power, because it is beneficial for them to be in power. They're still run by individuals. I mean, we had a dude by the name of Winston Peters who was the leader of one of the smallest parties. Actually, in the last election, didn't even get enough to make it across the line. But the one before that got 6%, and he dictated who was going to run the country. This dude that got 6% of the vote. Because it came down to 2 major parties that both needed him. I would prefer a system where the party that has the majority of the vote has the first right to form a coalition. That's what I would say. So in the UK, you can go to whoever, the Governor General, the Queen, I don't fucking know, but you can form a minority government. You can say, well, hang on a minute, we only got 49% and 51 is the threshold, but we are a more legitimate government than 10 parties cobbling together to form a government. And they go, yeah, and I would agree with that. I think that is a far more blanket representation of the population than the dispersed views of 10 different parties. I mean, in the system we have, you could have a capitalist party that is all out for world domination and a Green party that is all out for destroying the capitalists band together because they can then form a government. Even though they ideologically dislike each other, they can say, yeah, but if we come together, we can now be in charge. And then basically argue amongst ourselves for the next 3 years and achieve nothing for the country. Fantastic. 10 conservative parties collectively have a majority. Conservative government, even if it's multiple parties. Yeah, okay, we'll put it this way. So our last government formed not in the last election but the one before, had the Labour Party, who was sort of left of centre, we had the Green Party, who was much more left of centre, and then we had New Zealand First, who was right of centre. But because basically when it came down to it, he went to the National Party, which had the majority of vote, came out at like 46% or something, and said, "What are you going to give me?" And they said, "Well, nothing. You don't get to hold the country over a barrel." And then he went to the other ones and said, "What are you going to give me?" And even though idealistically they are opposed, they said, "We'll give you whatever you want as long as we can be in power." And that's what happened. And then when it came to getting bills across, he disagreed with them on everything. And then he got his ass thrown out of Parliament the next time. So we just stagnated for 3 years, and then his vote disappeared because he was such a cockhead. So that didn't benefit the country at all. And that was the second time he'd done it. Isn't that amazing? Did it in 93 and then did it again in 2014, whatever it was, 2015 maybe. Yeah, buddy. Especially when the guy comes out before the election and makes a statement that says, "I will support the majority party because that's what the people of New Zealand want." And then once he's put in the position of power, he's like, "You know what? I'll go to the party that's going to give me the most." My point being, you like to know when you vote where your vote's going. Dumb shit's going to happen. Yeah, happens every time. Going forward. Photo of being a dipshit. So it seems, from an outside perspective, to have functioned properly. Yeah? So you can basically stagnate a country's government for 3 years because of one dude's a dickhead, and you consider that functioning correctly? Interesting. So when Trump came in, even though he lasted for one term and got voted out for being a dipshit, you would say that was functional government. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You should be asleep in your little dog bed that Mama bought you. It's cold, isn't it? You're gonna sit where I am when I get up. I know what you're gonna do. You punk. A system in which a party or politician gets more votes but still loses is functional democracy. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's what MMP does for us. The party that gets more votes than any of the other parties doesn't end up ruling, or doesn't necessarily end up ruling. They can do if they form a coalition government. But every government since MMP came in has been a coalition government. So the idea is it's supposed to force that, cooperation. Party A plus Party B gets small votes. What? We have two. Well, it still loses. Yeah, because of your electoral college system. Makes sense. And then you have the House, and then you have that's. See, at least what I will say about New Zealand, at least, is that you don't have these other layers that are working against you. You have your own party that's working against you. But it's like, oh, we've got a Democratic president, except the House and the Senate are both Republican, so that guy's fucked. We're not going to let him do anything. That's a crazy setup. Got to remember though that the US is not a country in the same way that New Zealand is a country. The US is a union of states that all have their own agendas. So central governance for a country that large, which is a union of various places, is not necessarily going to be representative of all those places. Well, I mean, it isn't factually. I cannot believe there's 5 viewers sitting here watching us bitch about this. There can't be. They must be lurkers. I think it made more sense in eras past. Yeah, and this is the problem, isn't it? That a system gets put in and you just roll with it forever. I mean, we changed. We changed to what seems to be a less functional system than what we had. Yeah. You know what I would like to see within our society? I would like to see a register that is held outside of Parliament with a body that is sovereign and not controlled by Parliament, where the campaign promises that you make on the way to election are recorded in this ledger, and you must fulfill 80% of those promises. And if you fail to fulfill them, you're not eligible for the next election. If you get voted in based on those promises, you must then fulfill them. I think the system in the US set up, and since the 1700s, less so now. Yeah, your constitution made a lot of sense back then too. I mean, we have a thing in New Zealand. I mean, Jesus, it could really get you started, but something that bothers me somewhat in New Zealand, and not for the reason that people think, is we have Maori seats in Parliament. So we have seats specifically for one particular race. And the reason it bothers me is it's not representative of New Zealand as we are, right? We are a melting pot of many, many races, but there is one particular race that we section out and say, well, you have guaranteed seats in your own electorate. And I just don't think that is representative of where we are. I don't like race-based policy in sports or in politics, in anything really. I think it is disingenuous to a country, and I don't think it is a way to move forward. I think it is a very backwards-looking approach. I also think it's a little condescending too, to be honest. It's like saying to people, well, we have to make an allowance for this race because they wouldn't get in on their own. And I'm like, well, that's really condescending. It's sort of dismissive. It's like if they are, if anyone of any particular race is a good enough politician and good enough at their job, then they would get in anyway, regardless of where they were from originally. You're right. Is there a reason you're rubbing your junk on my arm? It's just because you like to. Holy shit. Alright. Okay. I gotta stop doing this. I gotta go to bed. You've gone quiet anyway. I've frustrated you into a coma. Oh no, Jesus, you're writing me a fucking novel. I frankly agree with the register a bit. Here's the thing to do. Puts forward the vote for the voters vote for the party rather than individual. The party owns seats and appoints the vote party line. The party vote is selected. If their policies suck, they get voted out. I was typing. Yes. Now, this is what I said about first past the post. In theory, and anything really, in a perfect world, you should say, these people promised us this 3 years down the track. They didn't fulfill these things. Therefore, we are voting them out. But that doesn't preclude the fact that people are stupid and have very short memories. Because what happens is 3 months out from the election, the lottery scramble comes out, and they say, well, we're going to give you this, that, and the other thing, and, manipulate, promise, get back in, don't do any of those things again. So you have to, I think that works if you have a populace that is well educated on how government should work and how government does work. But when you don't really educate the populace on government at all, then, yeah. Shit, what not? Democracy. What's the alternative? There's plenty of alternatives. I don't think any of them are necessarily great, but I mean, there are places that have monarchies. It's not democracy or fascism. Those are your two choices. There's monarchies. There is fascism. Have you considered fascism? Like, I know you've considered fascism. Buddy. Dictatorship? Good old dictatorship, mate. Can go wrong. Can go very badly wrong. AI, artificial intelligence. What your preferred system is. Well, look, I don't think the democracy that we have in New Zealand is the wrong way to go. What I'm saying is there are some tweaks that could be made to make more guarantee to your voter that when you cast your vote, you will actually get what you're voting for. I mean, we've had situations recently, and Australia had fucking an amazing situation, where it's like you vote for this party, and within 3 months, the leader of that party is gone. They get to be prime minister, and then they just fucking, their party rolls them, and then you get somebody that was not the leader of the party that you voted for, that has completely different goals in mind. It's like, hang on a minute. And I know you're voting for a party and not a leader, in theory, but like we say, people are easily swayed, and they all vote for the leader that they want. How do you structure it? MMP would go. No, MMP wouldn't go. I wouldn't say that. I would say that there is less seats in Parliament to start with. So I would structure it in the fact that, because what we have now, right? Fucking here we go. I was going to try and go to bed. We have electorate seats, and then we have party seats. So there is 78 electorates, or whatever the fuck there is up and down the country, but there's 120 seats. So you get, if you're voted in your electorate, then you are an MP. So if you're a Labour minister or voted in your local electorate, or your national, then that's it. Your seat in Parliament is safe. And then you have the popular vote, for lack of a better term, and the majority party there then also gets extra seats based on their proportion of the vote. So they end up with list MPs that get in, so people they've decided they like the look of, that are not representative of any particular part of New Zealand. They just say, well, we like this person, we know who they are. And then you have this problem where Labour won by way more than what they anticipated. So they didn't even have enough list MPs on their list last time around. So they then had to just come up with people who weren't voted in by anyone in particular in an area, and they basically were not even known before that party got voted in. They were a victim of being too popular at the time. And as a result, one of their MPs here has gone up against them, basically turned on the party, went independent, then we had to have a by-election, and now they lost that seat. But anyway, I digress. Personally, I don't think in a system like ours, you should be voted in without being representative of an electorate. So you could just, and that is basically how you could form a government. So instead of having a popular vote, people vote in their local electorate. The person they vote for is responsible for their local electorate and for actually serving the people in their local electorate. And whatever party they are with, when all the electorates are in, that is what your makeup of parliament looks like. And the majority has a prime minister. So I was thinking when I said they should have to vote party line. We've got a few reps here the same way. But then you do get conscience vote. I mean, most of the time well, I would say the vast majority of people are voting party lines anyway. But you do occasionally have conscience votes on things like assisted suicide, for example, where people cross party lines to say, well, no, there's a personal belief, I have this, that, or the other thing, or a cultural belief, whatever. But yeah, number one, I think we have far too many members in Parliament that are not representative of anybody. They're only got their coattailing on their own party. Secondly, I don't think they are held responsible for the promises made to get voted in. So I think it diminishes the value of the vote when you can say whatever you like and then are not held accountable to that. And our media doesn't hold them accountable, which is the sad thing, really. That's what they're there for. Fuck it. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, our current Prime Minister made a genius move when she first got voted in. She had to vote party line. If a vote comes up that wasn't a part of the party platform during the election, conscience vote. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, there should be a register of things that you have promised. And I mean, I'm not unrealistic to say unless you deliver on every one of those, you're fucked. Because some things change, other things appear. You need to address immediate things. But there should be a threshold where you say, look, 80%, 70%, whatever, pick a number that's relative. If you do not achieve this, you are not eligible to be voted in next time. And then I think you would see that those promises that get made, A, would not be as frivolous, B, would be more realistic, and C, would actually have a chance of getting done. Because the people are saying from day one when they're asked it's the seat, if we want to do this again 3 years' time, we have to meet the expectation. And then the voter is actually getting what they voted for. I mean, our current government is probably the worst I've seen in my time voting for actually not delivering on what they were voting for. It's all a conscience vote. So even when a party has a majority of seats, there's always a handful of rich that refuse to vote with their own party, so nothing happens. Yeah, and I think the problem there you get is that is open to corruption. I mean, America is just a whole different kettle of fish. We fortunately don't have super PACs and all that kind of thing, and lobbying by companies to change rules or not. I mean, there's some of it goes on, but it's not widespread and accepted as it is in your system. I mean, generally here, the government makes an announcement. We're going to start taxing farmers for some shit. So the media goes to the head of the Farmers Federation and goes, what do you think? And he goes, well, this is shit. And they go, okay. But that's about all the influence that outside people have. Or at least it's all the influence you see. Mm. Buddy? Pretty? Right to the point it's impossible to fix. Yeah, it is. It doesn't allow for it. Change in the Constitution in the current era is pretty much impossible. Yeah, people are... What is sort of weird to me about the American Constitution is people are so sacrosanct about it. They're like, it is my Fifth Amendment right, it is my First Amendment right to say this, and Second Amendment to carry guns, and there's about 26 fucking amendments. And they talk about them like they are set in stone. They were amendments. They weren't part of the... Like, you can amend it anytime you fucking like. Like, you can then say, well, that doesn't... I mean, the reason the amendments are even there is because it was realised pretty quickly that the document wasn't infallible and needed to be changed to be representative of what they were trying to achieve. So it's strange to me that they say, well, it was written, it is in stone, and we can never change it, even though the thing they're defending is an amendment to the original document anyway. It's the weirdest thing. Worship the fucking thing. Yeah. And look, I don't necessarily... I believe that the Constitution... I mean, well, you have to say it was an extremely valuable document, but maybe not completely relative to the times right now. But I think we have a constitution in New Zealand. No one could fucking tell you what it is because we don't worship it. But it's not like it was a bad thing when you basically perform treason, as the American people did, go against your king and say we are declaring our independence. You've got to have some guidelines to say, well, this is what we're trying to achieve with our new republic. But yeah, you've also got to be able to react to change. I think the founding fathers of America were very, very clever people, but they can only foresee X amount of years into the future. You can't say, well, they wrote it and therefore it can never be changed. So fuck. You wonder if you could go back and pick them up in a time machine and bring them to now. They'd say, yeah, maybe we should change some things. I bet you Alexander Hamilton would be chuffed to come and see himself being celebrated in a musical, in a rap R&B musical. Would make good leaders today? No, none of your leaders seem to make good leaders today. You'll disagree. See, it's funny though because I have an outside perspective. What, like the marijuana thing, I don't have a dog in the fight. I can look at Hillary Clinton and look at Donald Trump and say quite confidently they are both psychopaths. And the American people had a terrible choice to make of one terrible crazy person or another terrible crazy person. Both of them have extremely dodgy pasts. Both of them are definitely guilty of criminal acts that should preclude them from being president. But those were the two you had to vote for, so go hard. He's going to come back and be like, what you say about my Hillary? Thank God. I thought you were going to come back and be like, Hillary is a saint. And I was kind of like, Jesus. Jesus, I'm not going to bed tonight, am I? My friend. My buddy. You're going to come hang out with me, you know you're going to get harassed, don't you? Fuck the Democrats. See, the funny thing is, the American system does allow for more than two parties. Right. It just they can't. No one gets any cut through. I mean, the Libertarian Party doesn't get any cut through. Clinton is like Kennedy as their last name. It's a bit tainted. It's a lot tainted. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, no. And we have a system in New Zealand. And MMP was supposed to spread the vote across far more diverse sort of perspectives. But because you're going from a system that was basically a two-party system and saying, oh, now we're going to go to MMP, people that have voted down two-party lines just stuck with where they were, and then they taught their kids to do that, and, it just sort of continues on. And we are seeing more distribution now of votes, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. I don't know, having the vote split over 20 different parties is necessarily a good thing. Because all a government can ever do is the greatest good for the greatest number. You cannot make all the people happy all the time, because they are contradicting point of views a lot of the time. Third party could never do anything. No. I mean, the people of America would basically have to revolt upon the two parties that they already have, and en masse, by the millions and millions, say we detest this system and we're going to vote a third party in. But good luck, because at the end of the day, people walk into their voting booth and they just do what they've always done. Doesn't matter if 35% of the vote, zero representation. On that, the Democrats and Republicans unite to block third parties from contesting seats. Yeah, they do. I mean, in New Zealand, you can even run independent. You don't have to align with the party at all. The problem we have here is that, and I mean, you've probably got the same thing, we have plenty of parties that start up. They seem like they're getting somewhere, they don't meet the 5% threshold in the election year to get into Parliament, and then they just disappear because it's a long time between drinks to try and keep your party active. So the fiercest opponents of the Greens. For example, whoa, wait, is that a dot dot dot, or was that just the end of the sentence? See, that's really interesting because in New Zealand, the end, yeah, in New Zealand, the Labour Party here would be what you would consider the Democrats there, right? You would consider National to be Republicans, you would consider Labour to be Democrats, even though they are not. It's not one for one. It's not an immediate swap. But the Labour Party here, the Democrats by any other name, they are in a governance now with the Greens and were last time, and always align each other together. They seem to believe that their views align. So it's weird to me that in the States the Democrats and the Greens would be opposed. I mean, the Greens can't possibly interview in with the Republicans, can they? They're just all on their lonesome. Or do the Democrats dislike the Greens because the Greens are going to steal their vote? There's a lot of crossover there. Yeah, okay. I got it right before you put that up. I sort of now understand. See, where MMP has worked in the past in New Zealand is that there have been parties that have said before the election, we will come together to form a government. So in that way, people knew when they cast their vote, this is what they were going to get. So they're like, well, if I vote for ACT, I know that they're going to go in with National, so therefore I don't necessarily have to vote for National. I like ACT policy better, but if I vote for them, at least I know that those two are going to work together. Base of the Democrats don't like them. If the Greens are able to stand for election, a portion of their base will go to the Greens, yeah. Yeah, and this is the funny thing here, right? So you've got Labour and the Greens band together because basically the voters seem to be transient between the two parties. There are some swing voters in the middle, but yeah, who knows? It's going to be a very interesting year next year for us because everyone is sort of saying, well, the current government is going to be gone. They are polling historically low at the moment and in the most unpopular government for a long, long time. Not that you know, international media think Jacinda Ardern is beloved, and here she's polling at like fucking 25%. But people are going, oh, she's gone, and I'm like, don't be so sure, man. 3 months out from the election, the wallet will open, all the promises will come out, and all those people that said, oh, I'm not going to vote for again, will go, that sounds like it's going to benefit me a lot, so I'll just do that, and who gives a fuck about the rest of the country? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Yeah, buddy. You say hello. You say hello. Boo. Don't lick me. Don't lick me. I'll lick you. You like that? You would like that. I was going to say he's writing a fucking other novel. Technicalities at the local level to block Greens from running for Congress. So block the presidential candidates from being on the ballot in the more left-leaning states. Yeah. So what would be in New Zealand a coalition partner, they are blocking them because it's going to steal from their voter base. Yeah, it's weird. Republicans usually support getting the Greens on the ballot. Yeah, funny how that works. If you can split your opposition vote. But this is the politicking that comes into it that is just so fucking infuriating. It's like, at what point are these people stopping and thinking, well, how is it best going to represent the people of this country? I mean, I have to believe that everyone that gets into politics doesn't say from the moment they're 18, you know what, I want to be a politician so I can fuck over everybody and get as much money as I can for myself. They all must walk through the door starry-eyed saying, I'm going to make a real difference. and then there's just this slow slide into reality. Or very quick slide, probably, in all the cases. It's just like, where is that fucking idealistic one that you want? They must be around. They're backbenchers. They don't get the limelight. They might say something crazy, like the truth. Work shit. Ow. Anyway, dude, I need to go to bed because it's 11:30 where I am, which means it's probably going to be tomorrow by the time I get to sleep, and I need to be up at 5. So, I got to go. Week, yeah, fuck yeah. Goddamn unionists. He's like fucking scared. My bloodline is weak. Your ancestry is weak. Fuck you and your ancestors. That may be so, but I'm still going. So, peace out. Good to chat, man. I missed you last week. That sounded romantic. It's sort of homoerotic, didn't it? Dishonor on you. Doom on you. On your cow and your lands. Your traditional lands. Right. I'm out. Say goodnight so I can fuck off. Try not to kill anybody on your shift, will you? Pay some fucking attention to your patients. Catch you next time, man. Alright, see you, dude.